Hey, Merry Christmas, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. You saw last week we got one side built and completely done. Now we're pulling it apart. We're going to paint it and install it. Let's see how this goes. I'm crossing my fingers, guys.
Okay, so we got that's the side for the passenger side. We got it traced out and ready. It'll need to be cut out, but what we want to do is go ahead and finish this. You can see I went ahead and put the paint marks on here, how it all lies out. That way I know exactly where to put things. So what I'll do is, there's our top hat. Let me get our spring. So you can see once it's in there and there's pressure put on here, I mean, it really locks it in. Anyway, here's the bottom. What I need to do is, because this is for a different application, I need to do a couple things actually. They welded inside, which is fine. I think I'll do the same on the outside. I'm going to clean it up a little bit and I'm going to put a few tack welds on the outside. But then I also need to remove this handle and clean it up. And then what I want to do is I want to go ahead and find a couple places. I need to go ahead and get this in position and tack it. I might as well go ahead and weld it, matter of fact. And then the next thing we're going to do is, since this is going to be our bump stop, thank you, Tim Brin, for at least contributing to the project somehow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to section this. And this top piece, you see it as a hole? Well, their actual control arm assembly has a stud that hangs down. I'm going to go ahead and mix some epoxy and put it in here and then stick it back up there. That way, this will act as our final safety, our bump stop, will you, if you may, from complete compression. So let's keep rolling. Okay, I wanted to show you this real quick. Looks the same on the inside too. I wonder why it doesn't work so well for suspension. I don't know. So remember, when you're gonna be prepping all this stuff, make sure you clean your metal really, really well. Like, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is all pre-powder coated, but you see how much I take back. And the reason why is you don't want this getting hot, falling into your puddle. So make sure you take at least that much back, at least, you know, a quarter or more. Anyway. Let's keep going. All right, let me bring you in here real quick and show you this work and kind of what I did. I didn't do anything like super heavy duty. It's just holding the spring coil in place, so nothing masterful, but I'll show you what I did and just how kind of I ran it around. All right, so we can see that basically what I did is I started from that side and brought it around. I left a gap, and then again I brought it around the front side, and then just brought it around here as well. Could I seam it all the way in? Yes. Does it need it, or is it needed? No. So think about that when you're doing things, because see, you can see this was made by a professional shop, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with the company called Extensive Metal, but they do a lot of bagging trucks, raising trips, lifting trucks, all those things. And so they made these, and they believe, after all their research, that 3 tack welds inside to hold that top hat piece on was sufficient enough. So I'm assuming in all my years of doing this that, you know, that weld going across there, and then of course that bad boy right there, I think that that's going to be more than enough to hold it. So again, all this does is keep it stationary in a place as the spring is compressed between this arm and the top hat going up. So let's roll. I'm just kidding. All right, so I'm sure you're going to be wondering what I'm doing. So let's bring you in. So this guy right here is going to be the tab for the limit strap. And I'll set you up and show you how it works right now. So, I'm sure not going to touch it. I just got to finish welding and stuff. But anyway, check it out. So, here's the tab. So the piece will set down here. Obviously, the welding the tab will be setting like this. This is how the leg will be under the trailer. Coil spring here, and then right here is where our tab will be. So our limit strap will be right behind the spring conjoined. So that way, obviously, it's going to stop immediately, and so that's just what it looks like. So it's coming along nicely. It really has. But we've got that done. The next thing we're going to do, I'll show you guys this. We got everything seam welded in here. So now we need to go ahead and make a case for this. So what it'll do is it'll set like this under the trailer. So there's a frame rail here and a frame rail here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a box. I'm going to have a back piece here, a side piece here, and then a side piece here, and it'll set up in that corner, and then we'll weld this piece in and this piece in, and then this piece will be welded in, and all the way to the other frame rail will be rigged in, welded in, and then there'll be a brace that goes across here to the frame rail that's welded in as well. And I'll show you that here in a second, but I'm going to kind of pre-make this on the shop bench here, and that way it's less stuff I have to do underneath there. So when I put it up in there, all I do is seam weld it, and then weld these brackets in, and then it should be ready to go. We don't have the limit strap, we still have it come in, and I'm sure it's because it's Christmas weekend, but we're doing what we can to push through. So let's keep pushing through. Hey, so what I'm working on right now is this, and what it is the box system, because to be honest, the frame on the Kong is a little what's the word? Thin. So I need to box appropriately to make sure that we retain strength and create a little extra strength, considering it's going to be the support pedestal for the coil spring that the entire trailer is on. So this is kind of what I came up with, and because it's all angle iron, so essentially Let me see if I can square you guys up a little. Essentially, here it is. So this right here, it's a little warm, so let me use my gloves. So right here is a corner section where the frame is. And so this sits them in a corner, and then I was trying to figure out a way to make a lateral brace so that I can go from essentially here back to here. That way it'll be tied to the frame on the trailer here and here, and then of course this one will go all the way to the lateral edge, and then I'll have one from here to there to create a box. And that way, essentially, even though we're making a support piece, we're adding essentially 4 points of contact. So that's what my thought is. And so what I came up with is I just used my jigsaw, cut this out, kind of smoothed it out, and made it fit this area. And I'm just going to square it with a square, and then I'm going to weld that in. And then once that's welded in, that should give us everything we need. I really think that that'll be all that we need to square this up and to make it capable of withstanding that. Because again, remember, I flipped the edges, so they're going to be pressing against in this form, so they would be pressing upward against the box of the frame. So it's gonna have a lot of rigidity to offset the force of it pushing upward. So I'm gonna weld this in, and I need to get paint on the arm. So I'm gonna go ahead and weld this in and start putting a little bit of paint on that guy so we can start moving forward with like reinstalling this section. I think we're close to having this entire side built and at least put in a position where when I put it together, you can see what it looks like and see what we came up with here in the shop. And again, all I have to do is emulate it on the other side, and what I'll do is I'll finish the other side, and then I'll shoot a video talking about the whole entire thing. Sound good? All right. So we're getting close. I'll show you up under here. We've basically got everything prepared and ready for us to put this bracket in this corner. Now you guys can see it. I'll show you that a little bit more, but we're getting close. But what I did want to show you is how this arm extension came out. It looks fantastic. It's nice when you take the time to prepare all your metal and do proper paint work and you know, see what it comes out to. Like that's gonna be a good looking thing. And again, remember, this is the bottom coil bucket, and this tab right here is the one that I'll grind off and then put the limit strap tab on there. And then of course, there's the spring, or actually the coil, and then there's the hub assembly, and then over there is the top hat assembly drying right now. And that's what'll go into that cross member area and create the top hat for the coil. So we're close to wrapping this side up. I can't wait for it to dry. Once it gets dry, I'll sand off all the edges again because I wanted to paint the underneath side before I put it up there. I'll sand off the edges again, put it up there, seam weld it all the way around, and then it'll be ready for assembly. Real quick, I know people ask me this, so I'll show you. This is what I use. Everybody always asks me what I'm using. I found this to be the toughest, best, most resilient kind of stuff, and it comes out a really good color. It matches basically everything factory, and that's it. So let's wait for the paint to dry, and then we'll get it installed. All right, check it out. So we got side one done and completed. Oh man. So I obviously need to put the tire on, but I wanted to kind of show you guys how it came out and what it looked like, and what I was doing. Maybe this kind of better explains what I was thinking. So I'm pretty excited. Now, if you look over there, you see the control arm basically flat with the body. Now, I need to put the tire on, put the weight of the trailer on it, and flex this thing back in and compress it. But if you guys remember, when we started, what did we have on a stroke? 2 inches, 2¼ inches? Look at it now. Oh, wow, guys. Oh. I'm dirty, but like I said, Christmas is tomorrow. So I need to get cleaned up. Anyway, I'm gonna put this thing together, put the tire on it, and set it down on its weight. I'm not gonna put the fender on and all that stuff because I don't have time, but then also because I need to finish the wiring for the trailer. Trailer license plate light. I need to extend it a little bit, but let's knock this out real quick. Height difference there is to the other side. And obviously I didn't think about making a pre-measurement, but we'll just kind of gander. So right there, it's about 22 1/8. Let's see what the other side is. So 22 1/8 on the risen side, on the new MO coil spring suspension, 22 1/8, and over there it's 20 1/2. So I think we accomplished what we wanted. Now let's jump on it. Wow. I'm blown away. I'm seriously blown away. Now, and right now, it's got no water in it. All these are empty. So we have a lot to add to it, but I think this is what we wanted. I think now it's gonna be bananas. Gosh, I gotta show you guys what this looks like. I'm super stoked. Can you tell? Look. So, now we've got the big Fox, which, remember, the Fox shock, we added, we'll have to go back, but a couple inches of stroke in it, right? So that's one thing that helped us gain some height. Now look at this. Is that bananas or what? That just looks insane. Man, I'm super excited. I can't wait to get that other side done. I think it's gonna make a huge improvement, and it's gonna be incredibly better riding, and it's gonna be incredibly more capable. Now I guess you guys can see the lean. Huge difference between this side here and this side here. Man, so 22 and an eighth, 20 and a half. So, I mean, an inch and half, 3/4, about an inch and 3/4 rise. That's huge. It is huge, huge, huge. Gosh, it looks great. So anyway, thanks for sticking around. I know this is a long deal. And yes, like I said, I'll shoot a video. I'll shoot a video with the extended, what do you call it? Extended coil spring bracket on the other side, on the driver's side or the passenger side. And I'll get it done. And then I'll shoot a video of the whole thing while it's setting up. Anyway, remember I have a Patreon, www.patreon.com/Maximum Overland. If you want to give that way. I'm just blown away by the way it looks. How does that look, guys? Anyway, I'll shoot Volume 3, Episode 3, the final cut, in a few weeks. But anyway, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for watching. Again, I appreciate every one of you guys. Have a Merry Christmas. And if I don't see you before the New Year's, Happy New Year. See ya. Peace.
It's out there just waiting.